Logan's an extremely emotional man, and you can see on his face he's very, very angry and very, very upset at our success. And sits there and tries to say, no, he should be banned, he should be banned.
Well, I did. I made the call-out video. Full on. Call out Andrew Tate. I know what a viral video looks like. Shit would have gone viral. Except it wasn't quite me. I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring.
For almost a year now, Andrew Tate and Logan Paul haven't exactly been the best of friends, as they've constantly thrown jabs at each other, starting with Logan Paul going at Andrew for his rhetoric messaging, and since that, a lot has changed. Most recently being the fact his ex-co-host of Impaulsive and one of his closest friends in the influencer scene, George Janko, managed to get Andrew Tate on his podcast. In just 3 days, it's sitting on over 4 million views. And the feedback has been insane, with posts like, "This was amazing." You can tell how much respect Andrew has for George's perspective because of his genuine, invested interest in the positive outcome of society. Masterful episode. George is such a multi-leveled human, reading the room and being honest in every single encounter. Unlike the Logans, who would have ever guessed George would be the one to make Andrew question certain things more than anyone else to ever interview him. GG. Nicely done. As since the episode aired, it's evident Logan Paul isn't exactly pleased with the whole thing, considering George's initial role when on Impaulsive was to be the funny one who would be the butt of the joke, but then could joke around about it, which clearly isn't his specialty in podcasting. To his performance in the Andrew Tate podcast is night and day. He wasn't anywhere near his potential on Impaulsive, and they were massively holding him back, because as soon as he would bring up religion, they decided he's doing too much and slowly pushed him off the show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. This way you'll never miss out on any future celebrity videos similar to these. For those of you that may be unaware of Logan Paul and Andrew Tate's past feud, which has led up to this point, where sources close to Logan say he's enraged George Janko had Andrew Tate on his podcast, considering their history, let's quickly catch up. In August 2022, Logan Paul was doing an episode of Impaulsive and stated he didn't feel like platforming Andrew Tate and said there's no chance he would be relevant going into the beginning of this year.
If everything he said about what he believes is true, he's not going to do. So as of now, my statement stands that I made in your vlog. By 2023, he will not have a sliver of relevancy, hopefully. And yeah, no, fuck him. Fuck him. I'm glad he's gone. I did not like what he was doing. I didn't think it was healthy. And maybe if he would have worked a little smarter, he wouldn't have to be complaining outside of the Matrix about how there is a Matrix.
One of the main reasons Logan received so much backlash when he said this was the hypocrisy of all of it, as I'm sure you're aware of his 2018 slip-up in the forest, which led him to being the most hated man alive, where he got essentially deplatformed for a while and has since redeemed himself. So why would he push that on someone else, while not giving them a chance to redeem themselves? Can't believe these guys would actually be so judgmental after all the experiences they've been through. Free Tate. I'm disappointed in Logan. He has bowed to the feet of the big tech overlords. I would really like to see him debate Tate and grill him with questions, but this makes Logan look like he's scared. To think Logan, who knows how it feels like to be cancelled, would go on to say, "I don't feel like giving this guy a platform." I think it's funny just how malleable he is and cowardly he is. It's the smart move, but dang, at the end of your life, all the memories you have are spineless? It's not the way I wish to live out my existence. And all these points are valid. And it's shocking, Logan Paul didn't even realize it when saying, and the fact no one on the podcast called him out for it, especially Mike. Then once this came out and the entire internet was talking about it, shortly after Andrew Tate's initial cancellation last year, he returned on a podcast with Patrick Bet David and replied to Logan in the best way possible.
First things first, I want to make it very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely not really a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything, and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain it.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved it himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
It's interesting now to look at it and how Logan and Andrew Tate's career has shifted this past year, as the fact Logan thought Andrew Tate would be finished this year and no one would care is pretty hilarious, as now he's bigger than ever. Back to his recent podcast with George Janko, as we saw earlier on in the video, while he was getting immense praise for his performance, a large majority of the audience was referencing Logan for how he treated George on Impaulsive, especially when it came to the religion side of things.
One that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus.
No,
That one hurt me.
No, I didn't. I said you need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you,
No, you
which
didn't.
is true.
No, you didn't.
I said,
I don't want to stand down. No, you didn't.
You
said
think I said you need a
not what I
therapist because
think.
you
I
believe in
checked you and I said,
Jesus?
"What did you just say to me?" And you said, "What did I say?" And you stumbled. You're like, I don't know. What would I say? And then you fumbled. I'm not backing down from
It
this.
is common knowledge that you don't interpret reality like reality happens, and you heard that incredibly wrong. You think
So
I
then
said
what
you
do I
need
need
a
to-
therapist because you believe in Jesus?
The audacity Logan had to even say that. I can guarantee you, if George was Muslim, there's no way in hell he would say Allah isn't cutting it for you. Go get a therapist. He would have been harassed of the internet for eternity. It was astonishing to see that throughout the entire show, Logan never once acknowledged George's religious convictions. He was so sure of his position that it seemed he would prefer to be on the winning side of the dispute than be involved in it. Before we go any further into the video, what are your guys' thoughts on this entire situation? Has Logan Paul been wrong with his criticism when it comes to Tate in the past, or does he have valid arguments? Comment down below. It was inevitable that George Janko would interview Andrew Tate, particularly after he had stood up for Andrew against his then close friend, Logan Paul. You hate women, you hate gays, and you're racist. Of course you like Tate, you effing scumbag, Logan stated to George.
I f- with a lot of the shit he says. Not
No
obviously.
shit you do. You're a racist,
Yeah.
a homophobic Christian. Obviously you do.
No, shut up. Shut up. Stop.
And you hate women. You think women are inferior to men. I'm not backing down for shit. That guy's a pussy.
Nah.
That guy's a fucking
You
bitch.
guys are both wrong.
That guy's
You guys are
such a
both wrong.
bitch, and he's just like
I'm on the Tate tit.
No.
I'm on the Tate tit, and I go.
Again,
Give me
of
some more
course- of course
nourishment.
you are, bro.
Between the two.
You
I'm
hate
between
women,
the
you
two.
hate
No,
gays,
that's not
and you're
true.
racist.
No.
Of course you like Andrew
No,
Tate, you
no.
fucking scumbag.
For those of you that watched Impaulsive 2, could tell it was inevitable something like this would happen, considering how George was getting treated towards the end of his time of Impaulsive. Since the Bobby Lee walk-off, it was evident the respect Logan had for George on the podcast. It made sense for George Janko to start his own podcast, even though Impaulsive has a larger listener base than his own. This is because if you listen to George on the Impaulsive show, you probably heard him veer off topic and talk about something more significant, like religion, which both Logan and Mike didn't seem to like talking about for long segments at a time, as their podcast is more pop culture based. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.